Let's talk about why you're really deficient in vitamin D and why is it so hard to get vitamin D? Well, number one, it's very difficult, if not impossible, to get vitamin D from your diet unless you have fatty fish every single day. So this is why we rely on the sun. Well, let's take a look at how much vitamin D you can get from the sun. Well, 10 minutes of the sun can provide 1,000 international units, right? Actually, 1,000 international units is very tiny. But you're only going to get this 1,000 IUs only if you live close to the equator, okay? And if you're young. The older you are, the more difficult it is to penetrate through the skin. Apparently, the skin becomes thicker. And if you're not obese, the more fat you have in your body, the less penetration sun has through your skin. And if you have more light colored skin, the darker the skin, the more the melanin, the less vitamin D gets through the skin. And if it's in the middle of the day and you're lying down versus standing up. If you're standing up, the sun rays kind of get the top of your head, but they don't get the whole body. And of course, you have to have a healthy liver and enough bile to be able to break down this fat-soluble vitamin. And don't forget, you can't have clouds and you can't have pollution. And you can't have any genetic defect with your vitamin D receptor, which, by the way, is more common than you might think. And also, if you don't have any gut problems, any inflammation, any past gut problems, because inflammation blocks the absorption of vitamin D. And lastly, if there's enough microbiome and you have a gallbladder. The microbes, the friendly bacteria in your gut, make a secondary type of bile, which helps you absorb vitamin D. So number one, we need enough bacteria to make secondary bile, as well as the gallbladder to be able to store and concentrate this bile to help you break down this fat-soluble nutrient. So this is why so many people are deficient, and it's actually very difficult to get enough vitamin D unless you don't have a lot of these issues right here. So if you're enjoying my content, which I hope you are, and you're applying this knowledge to your health, and you have a success, I would really appreciate you sharing your success story so you can help inspire others.